Intriguing. A quiet dinner in the village of Bethany is suddenly interrupted. A woman steps into the room holding a sealed alabaster jar. Instead of unstopping the lid, she intentionally shatters the stone, pouring every drop of the thick, fragrant oil inside directly over Jesus. This specific perfume had been transported across ancient trade routes, imported all the way from the harsh, high-altitude terrain of the Himalayas. The vessel held about 350 milliliters of liquid, roughly the volume of a standard water bottle, but its market value was 300 denarii, representing nearly a full year of wages for an average worker. The onlookers in the room recoiled. Perfume of this grade was meant to be applied drop by drop over years, not emptied in a single moment. But Jesus stopped their protests. He declared that she was actually preparing him for his burial. Measured, the shattering of that first jar set off a sequence involving 3 separate vessels, each marking a distinct stage of the events that were about to unfold in Jerusalem. The first jar belongs to Mary of Bethany, who is a different historical figure than Mary Magdalene. She lived right here among these stone structures in Bethany, a name that translates from Hebrew to the house of the poor. By saving this massive expense and then emptying every last drop onto Jesus, Mary bypassed standard cosmetic use. In the ancient world, pouring oil over someone's head was the specific ritual used to appoint priests and kings. She was physically acting out the title of Christ, or the Anointed One. The method of delivery matters. She broke the alabaster itself. The precious vessel was destroyed so its contents could pour out, mirroring the physical violence Jesus would soon face. This first vessel stands as the witness of preparation. It indicates that Jesus' execution days later was a conscious, anticipated sacrifice that had already been signaled in a small dining room before any arrests were made. 6 days later, the Romans crucified Jesus outside the walls of Jerusalem. While his closest followers scattered to avoid arrest, 2 high-status leaders, Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea, stepped forward to claim his remains. They treated him like a deceased king. They brought a massive quantity of highly valuable myrrh and aloes, applying these thick, heavy spices directly to the body as they wrapped it in linen. Their act serves as the witness of confirmation. The sheer volume of material they used, handled by men who knew the political risks, provides a material record of the death that took place. That brings us to early Sunday morning. Mary Magdalene arrives at the burial site carrying a 3rd jar of perfume, intending to complete the standard mourning rites for the body. But she finds a physical anomaly. The massive circular stone sealing the grave has been moved, exposing a dark, completely empty rock-cut tomb. She stands outside weeping, unable to even anoint the body. Then she encounters a man standing near the garden, the living Jesus. In an instant, the costly burial spices she brought are rendered useless. This 3rd jar serves as the witness of disruption, a physical record of an expensive, carefully planned ritual that was suddenly abandoned. These 3 distinct encounters with perfume act like material witnesses to the events of that weekend. The first 2 testimonies establish the preparation for the death and the reality of the burial. Mary of Bethany's shattered jar verifies the intent of the sacrifice, while the heavy spices used by Nicodemus confirm the grim handling of a lifeless body. Then we have the final testimony. Mary Magdalene's perfume was specifically formulated and transported to be poured over a corpse, yet it remained completely sealed. This sequence shifts how we interpret the evidence of Easter Sunday. The 3 jars track a transition from a death that was anticipated to a burial that was finished, and finally to a mourning process that was left incomplete. We normally point to the empty tomb as the primary evidence of the resurrection. But there is a concrete detail in Mary Magdalene turning around and walking back to the city, carrying this unopened, perfectly preserved alabaster vessel. The shattered jar stands as the witness to the death. The sealed jar stands as the witness to the moment those burial rituals were no longer required.